What is going on, Notre Dame fans? How about the Fighting Irish knocking off the USC Trojans 48-20, a blowout in South Bend, Indiana. How is everyone doing tonight? Tim, you look fantastic as always. Love the haircut.
Hey,
How
fresh
are you,
cut.
my friend? You feeling good right now?
Yeah. I'm down in the basement. You can hear my voice, man. I'm so hyped up down there. It's like watching this ball game. It was man, it was thrilling. So many emotions right now. You got in the pregame show. It's the I don't know if you know, it's the 50th anniversary tonight of the '73 title team, and you see all the old Warriors walking across behind the pregame show, smiling, waving, and man, that was awesome to see all those old guys. And then obviously in that legendary SC game was Eric Pennick's 85-yard run. Some say the loudest in the history of Notre Dame Stadium. Was that after that touchdown run, they upset SC, went on to win the title. This game reminded me a lot. I talked about it the other night with Mike Goolsby and you. I got out of the Marines in '95. My first game ever ever in South Bend was, I mean, we moved to South Bend and stayed out there for a year. It was the 1995 Classic when number 5 Keyshawn Johnson and SC comes to town and Notre Dame whitewashes them 38-10. And then Mike, what? I mean, seriously, I'm a nervous wreck because I just expected Caleb Williams to just run 80 yards every time he touched the ball. And then some guy out of Omaha, Nebraska just went freaking nuts tonight, Xavier Watts. I'm using him like Eric Pennick is legendary for the '73 game against SC. And yeah, I don't think Xavier Watts is ever going to buy a meal in South Bend again just for this game alone. He could retire. He's done. I mean, what a game from him. Notre Dame had 40 plays on offense. It's like it was crazy with all the short drives, but heck of a win. Let me just say real quick, because this was not hyperbole or whatever you want to say. This is big, guys. Everyone watching this was big. There's a massive difference between playing in the Blue Bonnet Bowl or the Gator Bowl or whatever the heck mid-tier bowl. Had they lost this and they beat number 10 SC, now they've been living a dream, so to speak, undefeated number 10, but they're still number 10, undefeated with the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, and they just yanked the Heisman away from them, yanked out USC's title hopes, let's say, and Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman and these guys are going to go into a bye with a legitimate shot at a New Year's Six bowl. So, man, I'm done. My rant's over. Let's talk with everyone. Hell of a night. Hell of a win for Notre Dame. Congrats to that coaching staff tonight. Seriously, congrats.
Yeah. All right, Tim. This needs to be said. Listen, folks. We do this show for you guys. We need to talk about something. The offense, it was not great. Notre Dame's offense wasn't great. To dwell on that right now is about the stupidest thing we could do. We're not going to have a show here. The game ended 5 minutes ago. We're not going to sit here and talk about how the offense wasn't good. It wasn't great, but it's an offense, defense, special teams game. Notre Dame's offense did enough for the Irish to win, right? Didn't really shoot themselves in the foot a whole. Tim, did Notre Dame have a turnover?
No. Let me jump in there for 12 seconds.
Turnover, special teams touchdown, defense was outstanding. Offense, defense, special teams got it done tonight.
Seriously, I've been in my bunker down below, so I haven't been on Twitter. Mike, I don't think I did not talk to you until about 5 minutes ago, I know you probably thought I was buried somewhere. And I told you, it's USC. I'm not talking to anybody. I literally got over 100 text messages right now. I haven't not talking to a darn soul. So if people want to first off, how do you complain about the offense? If they're allowed, if they can only go 18 yards, they win 18 yards, right? They didn't have the ball. That was a defense set them up. Who cares? It's USC. It's Caleb Williams, the Heisman Trophy winner, who won the Heisman against Notre Dame last year. The defense was outstanding. They created turnovers, and that's how you beat a team. I know it's not an upset because Notre Dame is favored by 2 points. Who cares? Just go by the rankings. They upset the number 10 team in the country. What is it? Every game this year they played an undefeated team. 4 consecutive night games. We get into all that junk. So you're right. There should be zero complaining whatsoever. What a damn win tonight.
It's just not the time, right? We
No,
talked about it Wednesday night, but now it's just it's
they
not.
punted, but when it was time to score, the bomb to Tyree, and then they ran. I don't know. Don't get me going. I thought it was a heck. It's a win. Football games sometimes are gutted out
Yeah.
by certain situations or whatnot. How many times has Mike Goolsby talked about they're undefeated 8-0 and offense scored 10 touchdowns probably in 8? I mean, those things happen. You win. So it's USC. I think you said it in our show the other night. If they win 7-6, who cares?
Who gives a shit?
7-6.
Yes. So Tim, what we also talked about all week was you want this game to look a lot like the Clemson game last year. Because listen, folks, also on the offense, here I said we're not going to talk about it much, but here we are. We know what the offense is, right? If we went out there and expected Notre Dame to light it up offensively, that'd be unfair because it's just not Notre Dame right now, right? You got to take the context of it. You wanted it to look like USC last year where Drew Pine, you didn't need Drew Pine to go beat Clemson last year in that 3 team.
8 completions. 8 completions against Clemson, I believe, last year.
That's what you needed from. You just needed Sam Hartman to not need you to win the game tonight. If Notre Dame was getting in a track meet with USC, we know it was going to end bad. That was exactly what Notre Dame needed to do. These turnovers, Tim. I mean, the defense was outstanding, and so much credit's going to be given to Xavier Watts. He played phenomenally. Ben Morrison had a pick, up and down night for him, but he had the pick.
Oh yeah,
the D line, Tim, has got to be the key to this win for the Fighting Irish, right? I mean, they all did so well. Shout out to Boubacar Traore, one of my bold predictions for the season that he was going to come on late in the year and make a big impact. Had a nice little game tonight.
The penalty.
We'll talk about the halftime thing later, Tim. But
God.
Tim, the D line was outstanding. Javonte Jean-Baptiste, thought Mills. He was disruptive. Talk about this D-line, Tim.
Oh, it was outstanding. I mean, Howard Cross at 5'8", Notre Dame's 5'8" nose guard, right? I'm saying that as a joke, obviously, because he's so short. Had the pass breakup. Riley Mills there in the second half literally picks up the guard, throws him, gets that sack. Maris had some big pressures. It's funny at halftime. I know Watts had the picks. JD Bertrand was like a maniac. He got beat on the speed option because he runs a 5.5 40. He's not going to catch Lloyd, who people don't realize was the top 40 running back in the country when he came out and signed with South Carolina. So stud. That was JD's like one bad play because it was just leverage, and they're caught 2 weeks in a row playing straight man free, no one on the pitch guy. So I'm sure Al Golden's kicking himself. No, it was outstanding. One of my notes I wrote in there was a lot of rotation. They just flooded the front. The back end, they stayed the same other than when they went to Aztec. They lived in nickel a lot. Even in some Aztec dime situations, they stayed in nickel. I counted maybe 2, maybe only 3 times with 3 true linebackers out there when Kaiser came on. A lot of, obviously that caught him with 12 on the field at one time, because they're rotating so much. That was bad coaching. You don't sub when a team's going hurry up, but the D was outstanding. Morrison was up and down though. Ben Morrison was, they attacked him, which is crazy. They really went after him, but I think that's just situations. And that's the guy they saw because Caleb was moving and running. God, man, I could talk. What a hell of a game. Seriously, what a hell of a game. This is going to be a fun one to go back and rewatch because, look at all these things, man. I got more notes than you can shake a stick at. And very good rush. Last year they ran by Caleb a ton. The only time I think they ran by him once and they came back and still got a sack on him. So kept him in front a time. Caleb is legit. Even in loss, man, you got to tip your hat to that guy because he's a hell of an athlete.
Goolsby called that USC was going to come in here and just think that they had this thing in the bag, and they obviously did it. Caleb Williams was trying to be superhero out there, and he had some really good moments. Obviously, there was a 3rd down and long where I think I can't remember the defensive lineman for Notre Dame. I thought it was Traore, but I don't remember. Was in Snead, actually. I think Snead was in his face late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And he just delivers a dart for a first down. I was like, good gosh. And him running the ball, it's a really good. But Notre Dame did such a good job. I mean, the defensive line was really outstanding, Tim. What a win, man. 48 freaking 20.
The interceptions was him obviously trying to make a play, trying to just be active because, they lived, by the way, NBC lived on the USC's sidelines. You saw Notre Dame only once every, 15 minutes, it felt like. They were living with Caleb Williams because obviously he is the show tonight. And his frustration, a lot of talking with Lincoln Riley. Riley was just like, what the hell? He saw what they were doing. You could hear him talking, and a lot of it was about the rush, taking away lanes and whatnot. So, it was a hell of a night by Coach Golden, Washington, the whole entire group. So big win, man. Big win, especially after, it's Notre Dame football. When you lose a game at Notre Dame football, I know it's still year 2, Marcus Freeman, Groen, Parker, tons of people angry and all that. Last week was a gut punch. It really was. Because it just didn't look like that team was prepared. And Freeman talked about that, how he did not prepare his team. And they rallied, man. So all this talk about midterms and all this yap, who cares?
Yeah.
As I said, hey, they're going to sleep next week. They have the bye. Let's get ready. I think they got Pitt coming out of the bye.
How about this super chat? $4.99 from someone named Mike Goolsby. Never heard of him. He says, FUSC, let's effing go. Told y'all. Goolsby, what's up, brother? 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, Goolsby show. I'm so excited for that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tim, we do have a really important talking point. Mike says the quality and sound of NBC on TV is just ridiculously bad. We're going to spend a good 20 minutes talking about NBC, the broadcast booth, all that good stuff, hey, Tim. Let's not talk about the
I literally, just to drive people nuts, I watch it on Peacock. My TV down below has the greatest, I kid you not, Mike, the greatest picture quality of the Peacock streaming is outstanding to me. So that's my 30 seconds to Peacock. Yeah. I have no issues whatsoever. Notre Dame just beat the 10th ranked team in the country, the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
Senior Hyde, and I'm sure Goolsby and every other Notre Dame, who gives a who cares?
Yeah. All right, we have 12 super chats. Make that 13. Dennis just put one in. So we're going to go through some super chats. So we obviously have a ton of things we want to say about the game. Usually your super chats just lead us in those directions. So post the super chats. If not, if you obviously don't need to post any. I'm reading all the comments. So can you please?
Can I just say a few things? Obviously, I heard.
Tim, can you hold it? Let me do a quick. Let's hear from a sponsor real quick, and then we'll go to you. And then our super chats, folks, we're going to hear from Game Time and talk about the ticket purchasing process because it can be stressful. You got to find that event you want to go to, get the seats you want, then go through that purchase process. It can be stressful, especially if you're wanting to purchase those tickets at the last minute, but it shouldn't be stressful. And that's where we learn about Game Time. It's gametime.co, not .com. It's a fast and easy way to buy tickets for sports, music, comedy, and theater near you with killer last minute ticket deals so you can relax and get hyped for all that fun that you are going to have. And with the promo code BGI, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. And best thing, they guarantee you'll get the lowest price or they'll refund you up to 110%. You don't need to plan months in advance since they have deals right up to Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that promo code BGI for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, Tim.
Yeah.
Hey, no, Tim, actually, I'm going to go grab some water because I'm going to lose my voice. So it's all.
Yeah. For a quick, a minute until you get back here. But you're talking about the D line. One of the things I wrote down here was a lot of loops. You saw a lot of double loops where the ends were crashing. Mills and Cross were going outside, trying to contain Caleb. A lot of that, a lot of looping with Maris, which we've seen a bunch with Maris doing that this year. I thought he did way more of that. Like a muddle, slow playing spy because Caleb's just outstanding athlete. So you saw a lot of that with Maris, and then a few times he just heated way more blitzing than I expected. A lot of 4-man rush, but man, it just felt like they just started to bring it and got more and more comfortable, especially when they got the lead, started blitzing a ton. And then one thing I want to give the jump on the offense is been a lot of complaining about shifts, motion, let Hartman see things. Jared Parker motioned and shift so much today. There was multiple times doubles, shift into double tight end. They went from trips. You saw Faison played a ton tonight, just running him in motion. A lot of Faison, zooms, jets, whatever term is for anything, but a way more motions and shifts than he has done in the past. So I think that was something that was very, very good from Coach Parker. Me personally, I was stunned they threw the ball so much, and they really only threw the ball. I'm gonna have to go back. I mean, maybe twice past 15 yards today. Now up 3. They tried going. I think the Flores once. It was nothing. Obviously, the Tyree one was a bomb. I think only one more. Everything was really, really short, which was I found that surprising, but that just goes back to a lot of our talk with, when we get into wide receiver talk and whatnot. But I thought Parker did a lot of good things, a lot of good things, a lot more pulling to the outside. You saw the quick toss a bunch, and then they really fed Estime because they didn't have any other running backs barely touch the ball tonight. So they fed the big guy inside tonight.
Yeah, good point. Estime 22 carries, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we're like, run Estime more. What are you doing? Why aren't you running Estime more? And then they run Estime more, and we're just finding something else to get upset about. Listen, you got to understand that this Notre Dame offense is just limited with playmakers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your main receivers
is a walk-on lacrosse player, Mike.
So split out. Stays and Evans, they split them out a ton. Jordan Faison, who was a walk-on 2 weeks ago. Chris Tyree, who was a running back last year. Greathouse and Flores, who were seniors in high school last year. Colsey's hurt. Thomas is hurt. Merriweather played a little bit, but got benched. Like, it's just a limited offense because of the receiver position, in my opinion. So teams are stacking the box. The Tyree, the play action, the post, cover 0. That was beautiful. That was a perfect example of Notre Dame, like situational football, getting it done offensively. Absolutely love that. All right, we're going to super chats. TDDP574 says, "Where's the offense though?" Not a great performance, but I mean, we just talked about that. The Tyree touchdown was huge. Huge. Tim, I think the Price kickoff return touchdown puts Notre Dame from 31 to 20 up to 38 to 20. With I think 11 minutes to go or so, 9 minutes to go, somewhere in there.
After Branch just had that huge one.
Yep. Play of the game. You go from special teams stinks to special teams is the greatest thing. That was the play of the game for me, Tim. Because if USC gets that, I mean, if Notre Dame, the offense is sputtering at that point. Notre Dame goes 3 and out, maybe punts after 1 first down. USC probably scores a touchdown to make it.
It's 31-28. Yeah, with 9 minutes to go because they're going to score so quick. No, that was massive.
Yeah.
That was absolutely massive. But let me just take 2 seconds on that. Where was once again, that's one whole possession gone. And you had multiple possessions where they got turnovers and it was just short drives. So, and then there was a couple drops, and Hartman, I don't know if something's wrong or whatnot, but he has been high over the head a lot these last few weeks. A lot. He had dudes open. The Evans, I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, where's the offense? Well, Mitch Evans is wide open. He gets the first down. SC guy strips it because the ball's behind him. Had the ball been in front, it's an easy catch. And then I think it's right after halftime, when Evans got hurt, he stays wide.
Yeah, that was
open. It's just a bootleg. Dump it. It's basically the spider, 2 wide banana.
Right.
Dump it, and Stays is running 30-something yards before there's a player.
It's a bad decision. If he throws that up to Evans, if Evans catches that, that's probably where Stays would have ended up being tackled. And Stays was so wide open. Not a great decision by Hartman, but
those were a few Hartman things I felt tonight.
Not a great game. I mean, it's not a popular opinion at all, but I thought Parker called a better game than Hartman did at quarterback, and Hartman didn't stink. He's
Just look at this.
just okay. He was
Hey,
just okay.
but the stats: Hartman averaged 6.3 yards per pass. Caleb Williams 5.4.
There you go.
So not bad. Caleb Williams under 200 yards passing.
Yeah, Tim, I threw a Prize Picks entry the other night on both Williams and Hartman going less than their total, and that hit easy. I think Hartman's more or less was 260, and Williams was like 300. I was like, yeah, there's no shot. Partly because I thought it was going to be raining. That's why I said 20-19 Notre Dame. And obviously the rain had a big. I was leaning into thinking it was going to rain. Tim, how about us hitting over 2,000 live concurrence in the live show, folks? If you're new here, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our other videos. We would love to have you check out more of our content here on our Blue and Gold YouTube channel, as well as the Mike Goolsby show tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Ghouls or Hyde?
I was going to say no. I don't have my numbers on me, but Notre Dame was, I believe, 118 or the low 120s in the country in tackles for loss. One of the worst teams tackles for losses. They had 11 tonight, 11 TFLs, and 6 sacks. Man, I'm scanning this the stats right now. So unbelievable by the defense. I mean,
defense is the story of the game, especially the D line. Trash says, great win. I know this isn't for a bit, but I found it hilarious that Phil Dracovic once again will not play against Notre Dame. Let's see if he wins again. Trash, appreciate the super chats. Dracovic, moving to tight end. I thought it was a joke when I saw that tweet, but here we are. Trash, appreciate you. Kirk says, unstoppable force. The USC offense met a movable object. Notre Dame defense tonight. A movable object won. Go Irish. $10 from Kirk. These are the best super chats. Just love it. Kirk, appreciate your support. Yeah, how about that Notre Dame defense holding Caleb Williams to 199 yards and 5 turnovers to 28 points off those turnovers, right? And I think the last turnover is just when Notre Dame kneeled the game out. So you don't count that. So Notre Dame scored touchdowns on each of the turnovers. There's another key talking point in the game. Kirk, really appreciate you. Rick says, where was this defense last week? The best thing I could hope for since no playoff game is a chance to play LSU in a bowl game and play like this. Yeah, Tim, the feeling is like, man, what if Notre Dame beats Louisville? And then Notre Dame is right there in the playoff mix, but they're not now unless you just have some craziness across college football. But hey, at least you probably knock USC out of the playoff pick. Maybe not. I guess if they went out.
They still got Oregon and Washington. Those two, I watched that game today. Those guys are freaks.
Yeah, so maybe not USC, but USC's not at least going undefeated. So,
but the defense actually played his butt off, I thought, last week, outside of just a couple runs, and they're really fits. 2 bad fits from whatchamacallit, DJ Brown last week. And then the blitz, which where Louisville hit the touchdown last week, the big touchdown run, literally the same play Notre Dame ran against NC State when Estime went. They went unbalanced. Notre Dame didn't have enough guys. Notre Dame should have called timeout, and that was a big touchdown. So I thought Notre Dame's defense just played their tails off last week. That game was 17-13. It got out of control because a couple fits. Golden talked about one call he wants back, and it was obvious. And then Notre Dame has 3 straight turnovers, and the defense holds them to 3 field goals. So, hey, the defense has not been. They haven't been the issue at all this year. So those guys are playing their butts off this year.
Rick, appreciate you. Chris says, "What a great game plan and execution by the defense. Really was. I mean, the secondary. Ben Morrison got flagged a couple times. Like it wasn't his best game, but all things considered, Tim."
Hey.
Yeah, I'll take that. I will take that secondary and that performance every single day of the week against USC.
Look who the number 14 team in the country lost to. Pitt 38, Louisville 21. How about that? I'm just looking at scores.
So and then Stanford obviously beats Colorado. So it's like, man, maybe Stanford and Pitt are not going to be walked through the parks like we thought.
They better be, but they better be.
Yeah.
But Louisville, real quick, that's the Notre Dame to the Duke to the Louisville. It's the emotions, and I know Mike Goolsby's talked about those before. They are real. These are still 18 to 22-year-olds, just like Boubacar runs out there, gets a sack, and he starts doing line dancing in Hydeville. There's still a play to be played, and it gave USC 3 points. So emotion with a bunch of knucklehead youngsters, and it happens sometimes. Louisville got trapped, just like they celebrated too hard. And what an upset for that. Not bad.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Yep, another one here. Starting 3 says designer defense showed up and showed out. They absolutely
Fits,
did.
physical, very physical up front. I mean, they were just in their. I mean, they were so beyond discipline tonight. They didn't let. I mean, the few times Caleb scrambled. I mean, his longest run was 11, and it felt like he had that all the time because he's just moving around so much. So, I mean, they were just disciplined as high heck, and those backers played their butts off, stayed in their fits, always kept him in the sights. One of the sacks JD had was awesome. They slanted Baptiste in. JD loops around. He's really a spy, and he saw an open lane, takes it, and gets the sack. So, man, hell of a night, hell of a win. 6-2 after 8 straight games. They're going to get some rest. Give the older guys a few days off, and then get ready for Pitt and the energy. I mean, Notre Dame's got an unbelievable opportunity that lies ahead of them, and they took advantage of SC in this moment tonight. So they got to rally and finish strong off this.
My boy T. Spencer, good to see you, man. He says, happy to see Boubacar get some time. Same with Jordan Faison. Let's go Notre Dame. Yeah, man, this 2023 freshman class for the Irish, pretty darn good group. Yeah, Boubacar Traore, Tim.
Oh, hell of a sack. I mean, as soon as I saw it out there, I saw 51, and I didn't have my roster. I was like, I think that's Boubacar. So the sack and just the instant celebration, which, by the way, SC did not snap the ball in time. I went back and you watch it frame by frame. They snapped that ball when it's all zeros. The refs even said it looked like one of the refs was like, they didn't get the snap off. And one guy comes in, ND calls timeout with 2 seconds left. I'm like, are you kidding me?
So are you like upset with Freeman about that?
Well, my first thing is, I don't know. I mean, so you gave them 2 seconds, even if they snapped it with 2 seconds, you know what I mean? It's a penalty. I mean, they're going to kick a field goal anyway, correct? So make them do all the rushing to see if they get the snap off in time. So he gave them a free 3.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know what, you know what I mean? The time's running. First off, the most perfect bounce in the history of football, right back to Caleb to get down and get set to even attempt a snap was like pure luck for that guy.
Yeah. I'm not really hard on Freeman on that. I mean, it's such like that was happening so fast. Here we are 2 hours after it happened, dissecting it after we've been able to reflect on it. Like, so I mean, he's pissed that his defense is not like, it's on the defense there. Freeman just made a bang decision kind of thing.
No, that I agree with. I'm sure he's also, I mean, damn well that Ohio State thing is going to live with him until he's 106. So he's thinking about that. He's thinking about they had already gotten 12 men on the field, which, by the way, they had 13 originally on the field until one guy came off and then another guy ran on and Maris didn't get off in time. So he's probably thinking of that. The emotions, the turnovers, he sees this lead. And by the way, they went Aztec that whole drive and just gave SC 40 free yards, just playing soft and getting dinked and dunked underneath. That was the most frustrating thing. I bet you Freeman was going nuts. Like, we just gave these guys 40 yards of simple slants and quick outs to get down there and get in range for a field goal. So that was probably more frustrating. And just put myself in his shoes. I'm sure he had 19 things going in that were just negative already. And he just said, timeout. You know, I don't want nothing bad to happen. Right. You know what I mean? That's probably what he was thinking. So,
yep. Folks, please hit that thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to our channel if you have not done so yet. If you are new here, fantastic crowd here. Live chat's going crazy. A lot to talk about. Notre Dame beating USC by 4 tutties, Tim. 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
you absolutely love to see it.
Yeah, it's like 2017, but that was just Notre Dame running the ball for 300 yards down their throat. Tonight was the defense setting everything up for the offense. So it was awesome. It was awesome to see.
Totally Clemson 2022 game. Like, this is what that was. Offense, defense, special teams. Balanced game for Notre Dame, took care of the ball, forced turnovers. I absolutely love that performance.
I
By
mean,
the
SC
Fighting
was
Irish.
averaging, Mike, they came into this game averaging 51 points a game. 51 points a game. And it doesn't matter who I mean, 51 points, a lot of points.
You got
I
to,
mean,
Tim,
it's a
my
lot of points.
prediction of 20-19, not that crazy when you think about this. Like Notre Dame obviously blew past 20.
Sure.
But I thought it was going to be like a more of just a battle. I mean, Notre Dame just had all those turnovers that gave them all these easy points. Then you get 17 points in the fourth quarter. But I was 1 point off predicting USC score total. And I thought that was just going to be because of the rain. Like I thought Notre Dame's defense was going to play really well in this game, and they far exceeded my expectations. But yeah. So
No. I mean, they totally did. The D was outstanding. Just limiting, Caleb, how they did was, yeah. I mean, it's like it's just so crazy, how they did that, and just really exciting the way that the energy, the way these guys played, and just played out of their minds. They really did. I mean, they played with a lot of emotion. I think a lot of that emotion stems from anger, doing what they did last week. I think no doubt about that those guys were angry, embarrassed to play Notre Dame football the way they played last week. And I think that came into this game today of just like, this is our rival. We need to play with pure hatred and just anger, just craziness, and get after this thing, focus for the next 3 hours. And that's what those guys did tonight.
all right, Sam, we have a quick ad read and then 29 super chats. All right, Sam, 29 super chats. So
yeah, let's get it going.
Right.
Rally it up, baby. Rally it up.
Irish fans, are you looking for that perfect gift for the Notre Dame fan in your life, or even yourself? Will look no further than the beautiful artwork of Barb Stevenson. She lives near the University of Notre Dame and has always been inspired to create pen and inks of the iconic buildings throughout the campus. In fact, she's even been commissioned by the university many times to create artwork of those classic buildings to give as special gifts. And now she has a selection of 4 Notre Dame limited edition pen and ink prints she's offering to our listeners on our podcast. Hello, podcast audience, by the way. Hope you are well. And our YouTube viewers here at Blue and Gold. What makes each pen and ink print so unique and one of a kind is the hand-painted metallic gold she applies to each one. They are simply stunning. To purchase and view Bob's art, visit her website, barbstevenson.com. That's BARBSTEPHENSON.com, or give her a call, 574-210-8388. Order now and receive free shipping anywhere in the continental United States. Order today, barbstevenson.com. Thank you, Barb, for sponsoring tonight's show. Trash said Xavier with the Heisman pose. I did not catch that. If that's what he did, that is fantastic. I love it. Really throwing some shade at your rivals there. Trash, thank you for the 2. John says the team looks completely different after that loss. More heart and attitude has changed. Also still shook from finding out Singer 6'2". Give me 6'2.25". Okay. My wife says I'm 6'3" when people ask me how tall, or people ask, hey, how tall is Hodgman? I'm going to take 6'3", but to be honest, like just a shade over 6'2". John, really appreciate the 5. Colin says, quit bitching and celebrate the win. Irish Nation. Colin,
Yes.
Appreciate you, my friend.
You beat SC. You beat SC. Celebrate.
Beat SC. Hey, Andy Fan says defense was lit. An awesome win. I like that. 6 words to describe the game. Defense was lit. An awesome game. And then, I already popped this one up on the screen, but Goolsby says FUSC. Let's up and go. Told y'all.
This is the rival, but this is your rivalry. So anyone, who cares? I mean, seriously, when you play your rival, who cares? Win. They got that shillelagh back after losing it last year. And just a quick one here, Mike. Just talking about USC, going back to your prediction of being a low-scoring game, and someone's complaining about the offense. USC plays out of their mind against Notre Dame. They always do. 2018, when they were decimated, Notre Dame was undefeated, getting ready to go to the Final Four. They played their butts off on defense. Same in 2012. 2019, they did as well. So USC, this is a rivalry game. They're always going to bring in a little extra more than they do against Arizona. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Appreciate that. Let's see. Dennis says, it felt so good to beat SC. Hell yeah, brother. What a win. Let's say past 6-7 years or so, Tim, any off the top of your head emotional reaction? Where does this rank among USC or Notre Dame's biggest wins again since like 17-18 or so?
Since 17-18 when they started playing
Just
the
somewhere, yeah.
year.
Post 2016, post
Oh,
2016.
I was thinking the year 17-18. My brain is mush. I mean, Clemson 2020.
Yep, obviously, yep. That's a big
By
one.
the way, I've said 1,006 times. That is the first night I found Mr. Mike Singer and Mike Goolsby talking.
Great night.
Yeah, a great night. I'll never forget that. I was like, Mike Goolsby, pick six Goolsby's on YouTube, and I watched the whole show. And that one, obviously, last year's Clemson was awesome, but no, this SC game is. I mean, it's like 20. It's like 2017. They just hammered them. So this is what it's like a whole
You answering my
team
question?
win and rolling. What's that?
You gonna answer my question though, Tim?
The best win?
No, just like where it ranks, like top 2, top 3, maybe in the like I don't know, just off the top of your head.
Top 3, let's say. I would say top 3 up there with the two Clemson wins.
Okay. Yep.
I'd say the two Clemsons in this SC one, just because it's Caleb Williams, man. I got a lot of respect for that guy. He's a hell of a football player.
Davis, there's no question, just a comment. I'm so high on this win. Thank you for the show. It lets us hang on to that a little longer after the game. Hell yeah, Davis. Appreciate the 20 as well, my friend. Yeah, Tim, it's just like such a good win just after, a Duke team you probably should have beat more, and then Louisville team should have beaten you lose to, just to go out and smack your rival, the cocky USC team with the Heisman Trophy winner and Caleb Williams. Just feels good, man. And to do it in that fashion, 48 to frickin' 20, man.
And to give a quick chuckle to everyone listening, I'm sure you saw the 55 different towel throwers USC has on their side. They're all about the towel throwing, the hype. They got guys they had some dude in like a pinkish shirt yelling at a Notre Dame game when it was like 31-13. I'm like, dude, it's just total hype, total fakeness at times. And it was just awesome to see Notre Dame just keep bringing it for 60 minutes.
Davis, really appreciate the generous 20, man. Hope you enjoyed this one. Jay Vitt says, how angry are we now after the unprepared team last week in the Ohio State game where we beat Notre Dame, right? So these boys have the talent, just need to keep the mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if this is an unpopular take. I feel like all right, Notre Dame being 6-2, you have the results, right? But you also have like the gameplay, like how good has Notre Dame been, right? Sometimes you win a game, you're like, should you have won that game? Like Duke, like kind of 50-50.
Well, Duke and Ohio State are kind of wash each other, I think.
I feel like 6-2 is like based on how Notre Dame's played this year. I think it's kind of fair. Could it be 7-1? Obviously, but like it feels like 6-2. Like the way Notre Dame has played this year, they're probably about a 6-2 team with its schedule.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. DJ Brown catches that ball. Notre Dame beats Ohio State. They're going to lose to Duke, I bet you. Just like Louisville lost tonight to Pitt on the road. You know what I mean? The hangover, the exhaustion of that game, and then the Louisville thing was just it's 3 weeks in a row of that. And I think tonight, as I said a couple of minutes ago, it's just pure anger. Notre Dame did not play Notre Dame football last week, and they were set to play tonight the way they want to. And just real quick, another thing, I think it goes back to Marcus Freeman being still a young coach, a messenger, learning how to just constantly mold a team week to week to week. I think that is real as well.
Yeah. Jay Vitz. Appreciate the super chat. But yeah, I mean, we talked about that a little bit ago. Like, man, you just beat one of those two teams, still talking playoffs. So yeah, Javid, appreciate it. Quote from Sam Hartman in the press conference tonight. He says, I met Joe Montana today. That was pretty sweet. I like it. Michael says, just happy to watch the game here from Germany at all. So I absolutely don't care about broadcast quality. Happy we won. Defense, Michael. Appreciate the 5, my friend.
Yeah, Michael, show up anytime you want. We love that take. Perfect.
Yeah, Michael, you're the man. Roger says, love when USC loses. Love the defensive play. How about Roger with the Detroit Lions logo?
Hey, Jared Goff won me a fantasy game last week, Mike, so I'm hyped.
I'm a huge Dolphins fan, but I'm like if I'm gonna root for another team, it's the Lions. I mean, I have just like seeing how bad they've been for so long. See the Lions
Yeah.
back on come up. I kind of love it. Angelo says first touchdown, Hartman audible. Okay, I think Hartman is hurt from the Central Michigan.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's just going back to, I mean, he's been really high on his throws the last few weeks, and especially guys that are open, he's throwing high. So it could be one of those things. They're just not going to say anything, and he's playing. What's in there?
Barbara says, I'd never date Williams. He'd steal my nail polish.
That's a good one, Barbara.
That's pretty good. Angela, appreciate the 5. Snowman says we smashed USC, and that made me happy. Smashed them, right? That's the thing. It's not like Notre Dame got in some like, track meet, which if they did, no doubt Notre Dame wins that. But it's the fact that like the way you won offense, defense, special teams, especially the defense, like that was the perfect way for Notre Dame to win that.
Well, the perfect, just real quick on the offense is they got the short drives and then they just ran power O just right down their throat, smashing it in for touchdowns. Rocco, by the way, Rocco Spindler gets a pancake and a half on one of those touchdown runs. But that's, you get set up and you take advantage of that. Notre Dame did at times.
Yeah. All right. How about just a bye week? Thank God for the bye week, not only for us, Tim, but just for this Notre Dame team. Great time. And then you go play Pitt and then Clemson and then another bye week.
Clemson, another bye. Wake, Stanford. That's what I'm saying, Mike. It's right there. This Notre Dame has, I mean, seriously, they have amazing opportunity to get to a New Year's Six Bowl. Amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, folks, if you're just joining us, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, Goolsby Show. If you're new with us and you're like, wait, what? Goolsby? Like, yeah, Mike Goolsby. That guy who had the pick 6 against Tennessee decades ago. Yeah, he will be live with us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, so you're not going to miss that. Continuing through the super chats, Roger says, love Goolsby super chat. He called it the man. Again, 7 p.m. Eastern time now. Sean says, where is your nail polish now, Caleb? Tim, not going to lie, there was a moment there where I was thinking about, they had a close-up on Caleb. I was like, maybe I should look at his nails because Trash is going to post some super chat and talk about the nails, and I'm going to get mad. So I might as well know what was going on. But I didn't see anything on Caleb's fingers.
He had something. He had something in there that he flashed it so quick. So I didn't hit pause to read it. So I'm sure we'll see pictures on Twitter.
Yeah, I am sure we will. GFS says, Hyde, can you think of a better defensive performance by a Notre Dame player than Watts had tonight? And the Notre Dame senior safety had 7 tackles, 6 of them solo, 2 picks, a pass breakup, and a forced fumble that led to it.
Yeah, the first thing goes. I mean, the first I think about is Teo's game.
And he had the touchdown, right? He had the fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Yeah,
too, right?
He caused a fumble, then picked up a fumble recovery and 2 picks. Manti Te'o's game against Michigan State in 2012 was just freakish. Unbelievable night he had that night. That's one that just pops out instantly. Bunch of the sacks against Virginia. Just thinking of individual games. I think Julian Okora had a huge game against Virginia. Was that 2018? Just trying to think of a few others off the top of my head. Obviously, Mike Goolsby's pick 6 to win the game against Rocky Top in Tennessee. But no, Watts was unbelievable, Mike. Seriously, he was just, I mean, you want to talk about the football gods are like, you are going to be remembered tonight, young man, forever. Yeah. And you're going to be placed in the perfect spot every single time Notre Dame needs you. And man, that guy's gonna have some nice looking fat heads in his office someday, huh? With the pictures he's gonna have from this game.
PV says, correct me if I'm wrong, but the point of the football game is for the team to win, not for the offense to have 500 yards just for stats. Like, look, I get it. If you're going to be like critical of the offense, be like, man, like you need to be able to move the ball better and score more points and be able to rely on the offense to win football games. I get it. But like to die on that hill, like that's all I want to talk about when Notre Dame's winning. So I'm arguing with people on the message board. They're like just critiquing the offense. I'm like, it's 31-13 going into the 4th quarter. And all we want to talk about is how awful the Notre Dame offense looks. Like, God, I'm glad I don't live like that. Like, let me talk about the good things the defense is doing and how when USC turned the ball over 4 times, Notre Dame scored 28 points. Like, let's talk about that, people.
Just real quick, man. The offense gets the short field touchdown. Second drive, they go with 3 and out, but the third down pass is basically dropped by Flores, or it's a first down. They have to punt. So the next drive, they drive down and kick a field goal, 36-yard field goal, get points. The next drive, they have to punt. On 3rd and 6, Evans is wide open for a first down, but the ball's a hair behind him. They have to strip it. So there's 10 points, and then the other 2 drives, they have a first down where the guy just doesn't hold the ball, or the drive keeps moving along. So next drive, a short touchdown. Then you get another touchdown. It's like, I think it was the third quarter where they came out and they had to punt a few times because that was Hartman throwing the ball a little bit high, a little bit. And then defense took over and they win the damn football game.
Yeah. PV, appreciate the super chat. Trey Poole with a generous $10 super chat. Appreciate this. He says, we question whether Freeman could get this team up for a big game after Louisville. Without a doubt, great game plan. Kudos to all the coaches. Yeah, I mean, what Notre Dame wanted to do, the repeat of the Clemson game, I don't know if that was what they came in exactly wanting to do, but I think it was, Tim. Like, that was the way they wanted to win the game, and mission accomplished. So, really nice victory. Yeah, shout out to Marcus Freeman, man. Big win in a tough spot for him. Notre Dame loses back-to-back games, and then which would make 3 out of 4. Notre Dame Nation is pissed. Not right now. They're not.
And another quick tidbit for this game is, it's 2 years in a row. Marcus Freeman and Lincoln Riley have been in this game 2 years in a row. Both games are ranked, which is the first time since 2005, 2006, where SC and Notre Dame are both ranked in the same game. So Notre Dame lost those 2 games. Notre Dame's 1-1 the last 2 years against them. So just a little side note for Freeman and Riley as they march on to year 3 next year.
Yeah, how about Notre Dame doing this in front of a nice recruiting crowd? Some pretty good visitors. Rushing the field, by the way, after.
I'll say the crowd was loud on television. I'm talking loud. Once again, it goes back to the anger, revenge, the crowd, the players, everybody in Notre Dame was on their heels tonight, ready to roll.
Yeah. Trey Poole, appreciate the super chat. Randall McAllister, appreciate the 2. If you guys want us to address anything that you have in super chats, please put it in the comments of your super chats. Randall, we appreciate the support there. Void says, last year we gave Caleb the Heisman. Yeah. Do you think we took it away this year? I think Michael Penix should be the front runner. Love your show always. Yeah, I mean, Penix is the front runner. Yeah, Penix is the front runner right now. Definitely only helped himself in that game against Oregon tonight, or this afternoon. I think it's too early to say if you took it away from him. I mean,
they took it away
because if they run the tape, so
exactly,
definitely hurt his chances.
Yeah.
Void Walker, appreciate the 5. The Diamond with the $5 super chats. No message, but really appreciate the support. The Diamond. If you guys posted super chats and you forgot to put a message, just do another 99-cent super chat and I'll see it and we'll read it. Joey Green says it's time for Notre Dame to unleash the speed. Love Price phase on 3. We finally have some speed on offense now. Time for Parker to do his job. Yeah, didn't really see much of Jeremiah Love tonight, Tim. I thought that was kind of an interesting subplot. But again, we can't complain about not seeing, we want Estime in these big spots.
Well,
he had 3 carries for 6 yards. I mean,
well, it goes back to the short fields. Notre Dame got points on the short fields. As I just rattled off a couple, reasons why they went 3 and out was the third down play was there to keep drives alive, which means you're going to see Love and Estime rotate more. They had to punt. So, because balls were dropped or balls were a little over high. Price, we saw the boom kickoff, obviously. And Faison, I think he started. I want to say he was out there for the very first play. So for a guy who's on lacrosse scholarship to football scholarship in a week, I want to say he was out there for the. Him and Greathouse started.
They sure were. Yep.
And here's Greathouse with a pulled hammy out there playing his tail off. That guy is is obviously hurting. Thomas is really hurting because we haven't
Not playing.
seen. I mean, if we saw him 2 snaps, maybe.
I don't
So
think he played. I remember seeing
yeah,
him.
I think he was out there once. I thought I saw 83, unless that was 13. But yeah, I'll look for the things. But yeah, those guys are going to play. Those are some fast dudes. They're going to be on the field a lot.
Yeah. Joey Green, appreciate the $5 super chat. A Clayton 47 says, can we just play our defense on offense? Go Irish. Seriously, I mean, that defense for Notre Dame did everything.
Yeah.
Just made everything very easy for the offense. So definitely big kudos to that to Notre Dame defense. Now that I'm thinking about it, Tim, the 4 turnovers going for 28 points, would that include the scoop and score? So I can't really give the offense the credit for that. I was talking about that earlier. So I can't, if they count that, yeah.
No. That's a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, but I'm just because like turnovers and then points off turnovers, does that defensive touchdown count for that? I don't know. But anyways, A Clayton, appreciate the 10. Yeah, how about that Irish defense? Tyler says, why no Jeremiah Love? What a game by X Watts. Yep, for sure. In terms of Jeremiah Love, they wanted to feed Estime.
I'll say, yeah, I was
Listen,
going to say, I'll just say the situation. I think just the situation of the game, the flow of the game, not a lot of plays for the offense. That would be my quick take on the reason why. And they really didn't need him, I guess, tonight.
yeah, absolutely. Tyler, appreciate the 2. Hey, look at B Place with a big boy $20 super chat. He says, great win all the way around tonight. Saw Marcus Sherman with a little bit more fire in the sideline when mistakes are made. He was definitely pissed that time tonight. Glad to see that. Xavier Watts, what a performance tonight. Go Irish. Yeah, Xavier was fantastic. Excited to see his PFF grade. I think we got to give a little shout out to as well, B Plays and Notre Dame fans, to JD Bertrand. 11 tackles, half sack, 1.5 TFLs. I mean, just look at 4 sacks and 11 TFLs for this Notre Dame defense. Forcing some fumbles. I mean, it really was a fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, Watts is going to be Walter Camp always comes out with the player of the week. So he's definitely going to be the national player of the week. That's not going to be rocket science here. But yeah, as I said earlier, JD Bertrand was a man possessed tonight as well. He played his butt off.
Yeah. The PFF first team all week stuff. Yeah, he's going to be all over that. You'll probably find 3 or 4 articles at blueandgold.com this week. And by the way, folks, if you still sign up right now, I believe our half off deal for the year is still in place. Hold on, let me show you guys our current offer. So $1 for a month for your first month if you're a new subscriber, or you can get half off the first year. So please check this out at blueandgold.com for new users. B-Place, again, really appreciates the super chat here. Very generous. Yeah, Michael says, good win in front of the recruits. Absolutely. Ton of commits, lots of 2025 targets. How about Carter Nelson, the elite tight end from Nebraska who's committed to the Cornhuskers? He was on campus.
Any elite receivers on campus, Mike? Can we
our boy Cam Williams.
Okay.
In terms of 2025, Dalen McCutcheon from the Dallas area. He's big time. I mean, Jerome Bettis was on campus. Jerome Bettis Jr. So yeah, pretty good receiver recruits. But yeah, Michael, appreciate the 5. And yeah, I'll be looking forward to reporting on recruiting, because that's obviously my beat at Blue and Gold, as well as our YouTube page here. So yeah, make sure you guys lock into blueandgold.com this week. Saul says, best defensive performance in a long time. Great execution. Yes, the offense can be better, but we need experienced receivers on the field for that. Yeah, I mean, can't put it all on the receivers, but I think the biggest culprit for Notre Dame's lack of offensive success, at least in my opinion, is the receivers. I mean, that's why when Notre Dame is going like 4 wide or 5 wide, you have 2 tight ends out there all the time. So because the receivers are banged up and just not dudes. Merriweather played less than 10 snaps, and that was Tim. Do you remember that little reel we did asking you about what do you expect from Merriweather? You were like number 1 receiver on the team, and I was like, hell yeah, Tim, preach. Oof, man, you were wrong on that one, Tim.
Oh, that goes back to the whole reason why I did that. I talked about that was just the history of Notre Dame. That so many. I mean, there are books written about guys who've gone from freshman to sophomore years and made the jump, and he definitely has not done that. So definitely has not done that. I mean, yeah, I mean the wide receiver. People want to complain about the offense. They're playing a guy who has a sore hamstring, who's a true freshman. Let's don't forget, who just did his first midterms, as Goolsby said on the message board. He was exhausted during midterms, so he knows what these guys are going through. Faison's a lacrosse player. Rico Flores is still up and down as far as for me. Tobias, and then they have no other wide receivers, Mike. They have none.
Yeah.
No wide receiver. 2 years in a row. That's why they're playing hero ball, trying to throw the ball to Evans. Yeah. So is that Tim Brown called, Michael Mayer last year. So they don't. That's why I'm asking you about recruits. Hey, great, more tight end recruits, blah blah blah. Where's the wide receiver recruits, man? Bring in 12 more. Let's go, Freeman. Find 12 more receivers to recruit, please.
Andrew Letson, $5 super chat, says Price to Branch, add Matt Damon. How you like them apples? Gift. Hashtag game time. Hashtag mic drop. Let's go Irish. Hell yeah. Cheers, Andrew. And appreciate the 5. Daniel says, does the aggressive play call on both sides of the ball stick from this point forward?
They've been this on defense all year.
Absolutely.
They're not sitting back playing, old school 50 defense cover 4 and just chilling, keeping everything in front. They've been aggressive all year long. And when it comes down to the offense obviously they've gotten much better defenses as they played. And the wide receivers, I talked about this the other night. I want to say the wide receiver targets over Louisville and Duke, they only got 39% of their targets over a 2. 39%. How the heck are you supposed to be an offensive weapon? 39% of your targets you're catching. And it's a struggle out there.
Yeah. And then looking at these receivers tonight, Tim, you had Tyree go 2 for 62. Yeah. And then everyone else was less than 25 yards. I mean,
they still need to get Tyree more. I mean, seriously, they just I know they did the quick screen, the deep one. I'm like
that quick screen though, that he like I jotted down in my notes, like that's what we want from Chris Tyree.
Yes.
Like we don't like I don't want him to be contested ball down the field guy. Now you get him one-on-one with no safety help over the top. Absolutely. Yes. Right. That was pitch and catch. Great ball by Hartman. I mean, just that's what you need from Notre Dame. When these teams are stacking the box to sell out against the run because the defense is like, you can't throw the ball over top of us. And then you have Chris Tyree in a good matchup. That was beautiful. But Tim, I mean, Tobias Merriweather, Central Michigan game, Tyree here and there, like Notre Dame just does not have like that big playability down the field. Like they're not regularly showing that. I mean, I'm sure there's been some other, 30, 40 yard, ish, but like that touchdown, that 46-yard touchdown is exactly what Notre Dame needed. Because the play before, I think it was a first down. Audric gets stopped for like a gain of or like -2 yards. It's like 2nd and 12 around midfield. You're like, oh shit, here we go. Boom, 46 yards. So gotta love it. Daniel, appreciate the 5, my friend. B Place with another generous super chat. Boubacar Traore is a name we need to get familiar with. What an introduction. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that Mike Singer bold prediction. Hey, man, at least I got one of my bold predictions that are looking decent right now before the start of the season. I said Boubacar Traore is going to make an impact on this defense by the end of the season. Or later in the season, I believe I said. And Traore tonight, looks like a pretty darn good one, Tim. And his stat line, where's 51 here?
Yeah.
Just one tackle, and it was that sack, but yeah.
The sack and gave SE 3 points. So those are his combos. He gave SE 3 points.
Juicy J said
more Sneed. Sneed's running back there high-fiving him. It's like, dude, you not know there's a football game going on?
Yeah, I can't get on anyone in that situation. It's just very emotional, just kind of a weird situation. But yeah, Juicy J, $10 says for the best Notre Dame show on YouTube. Great win, season saved. Hell yeah, Juicy J. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, season saved. I mean, yeah, I think that's not only save your season, you just defeat a top 10 team, rush the
Yes.
field in front of those big time recruits. It's like even more than season save. So it's kind of like a season rejuvenated even. Juicy J, appreciate the 10, bro.
Yes.
Stanley says, will people stop second guessing the coach? And seems like a turning point for Freeman. Tim, you know how I kind of feel about everyone. There's two people that everyone is going to go after. The quarterback and the offensive coordinator. I mean,
quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback and offensive coordinator. It's like this is all I hear. I mean, I'll see so many comments. People are being like, Jared Parker. And folks, I understand this is not the popular opinion, but I don't really give a damn. I'm going to speak my mind, right? People are like, Jared Parker is so predictable. Really? Then start predicting it. Like, I want you to write down, all right, it's 3rd and 6. What do you think or maybe not 3rd and 6, they're probably going to throw the ball right, but like 1st and 10, every 1st and 10 or 2nd and 7, like you jot down what you think Notre Dame is going to do on this play and not just run or pass. Like, I think they're going to run a bubble. I think they're going to chuck the ball deep. Like, you start predicting it then. Like, like there was one negative.
So the reverse to Faison, was that predictable?
See, that's the thing, Tim. It's like when it works, everyone's like, oh yeah.
Hey,
but when it doesn't, it's like, screw Jared Parker. But when it works, we're not like, hey, good job, Jared. It's just very easy. I think it's very lazy to just go after the offensive coordinator. You guys can hate on me all you want. And am I saying Jared Parker's been amazing? No, but I just think it's very lazy analysis to just go after the offensive coordinator.
Well, exactly. And last week, I mean, even tonight, he was aggressive. He came out through the ball. He was trying to be aggressive with Sam Hartman in that second half, and it led to some punts instead of just, I mean, had he just lined up in 12 personnel and hammered it, people would complain there. He's trying to throw it. Last week, people were like, oh, he can't be so predictable on 1st down. I went back and charted. He threw the ball more on 1st downs than he did run the ball. So he is being aggressive. And I always chart P and 10, which is the first play of each possession in 10. He threw the ball more than he ran last week against Louisville. So he is trying to be aggressive. It goes back to the personnel. That's why do not watch Oregon and Washington because they have freaks. Can Notre Dame recruit any of those guys, by the way, Mike? You handle recruiting. Is there anyone out there like that? Those guys are unbelievable. So
also against some unbelievably bad defenses at times, but yeah.
Oh, dude, you know why they're bad defenses? Because they're freaks at wide receiver. So from now on, follow Washington and Oregon. Whoever they offer at wide receiver, please make sure the Notre Dame recruiting office knows that and they can check in because those guys are, dude, there's not bad defense when the guy's jumping over someone catching it.
Richard, $5 super chat says the defense showed up big time, still have no offense, only 250 yards against one of the worst defenses in the country. Partly why they didn't have more yards because the Notre Dame defense just kept setting Notre Dame up.
2-yard drive, kickoff return, yeah, exactly. You can't have yards when you can only go 15.
Yeah. I mean, Notre Dame started their first drive at the USC 12, their 5th drive at the USC 2, their 6th drive at the at the 50-yard line.
By the way, how far was the kickoff return? Because I was getting
99.
Yeah. Put that on the stat sheet, right? I mean,
yeah. So, but again, I mean, no offense. That's obviously strong, but offense needs to improve. But that's the way Notre Dame needed to win this game. Playing really well defensively and making a play on special teams, and that's exactly what happened. Just one Andy Gal. She says, sorry if this is a word I struggle with. Duplicative. You'll give us chapter and verse on all the kick-ass recruits who experience this ass-kicking celebration? I mean, yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be your articles like crazy in the next couple days.
Yeah, that's my job for sure. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not really contacting recruits right now. I'm doing the show. And then, I got to edit another video. But tomorrow and Monday and really the rest of the week will be all about recruiting for me.
Can you put the graphic I saw you tweeted just of the top 8 guys if you have that handy? Just within the next, whenever you can. Yeah, I found that there's a couple of guys on there. I don't know if I.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Justin Dugo, appreciate the super chat. Yeah, I mean, Carr, Knight, Flanagan, Dallas Golden. Go. I mean, just go ahead, Tim.
No. I was going to say in Golden, that's the same school as Keon Keeley, right? The guy Golden's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. And I will say, Thomas, he's from is he Brophy Prep as
Yep.
well?
Yep. Ben Morrison School. Yep.
He is a hidden gem. That guy is really, really athletic. I've seen some of his film. And then real quick, Singer talked about the other day the kid from Kansas. I absolutely love that kid's film, the tight end.
Lincoln Cure. Yeah. He got offered today.
He
And
got
then
offered.
and then how about
I hope that kid commits because that kid's film, Mike, I was like blown away how athletic he was.
and then speaking of a tight end, Carter Nelson, Nebraska commit, top 100 player on campus right now.
So that's a little sneak in, huh?
Yeah. Dennis says good win for Freeman in recruiting and me. Hell yeah, Dennis. Dennis Rydell. I just love seeing a lot. I love seeing the new names, obviously. And I know on YouTube it'll show up like a first time solo super chat. Like I love seeing these reoccurring super chats as well. Like Dennis is always in here. Tom DeMay is always in here. A lot of negative about offense in chat. I agree in principle. But don't ignore we've improved over last year, including receivers. Moving in the right direction. Future bright. Amazing win. Finish the year strong. Tim?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they had no wide receivers last year. That's why they threw the ball to Mary every 3 plays. Yeah, I mean, it's still there, still a massive work in progress. I mean, 2 wide receivers that Notre Dame recruited that, we're not going to see this year. Braylon James, who's a freakazoid athletically, and then Caleb Smith out with his shoulder injury. So we'll learn more about them in the spring. Faison's obviously going to keep developing. The 2 freshmen this year are going to be guys. Can they convince Chris Tyree to come back for a 5th? That's going to be an interesting one. Does he want to do a 5th? Because he's been a true slot now. Obviously, Thomas will be back next year. Colsey, who knows? And then Tobias, Mike. I mean, I never want to talk about a young man and their future because that's their decision and whatnot. But where is he at Notre Dame next year? We'll see.
Yeah. Tyree, that one would make sense for him to come back and use an extra COVID year because show more film and more development at receiver. Cause he really could use that extra year.
Sure.
So
because he's only played slot for 8 games and he hasn't been a true go-to guy. I think he can be the way he keeps developing,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talented. I mean, man, I've really been in his camp this year about just get him the ball more.
Tim, I really almost dropped an F-bomb. I am so happy. I'm a journalist, right? I'm the guy who didn't grow up a Notre Dame fan, but
it's
if my ass, Tim, didn't hurt right now, and I say we could go for another hour. But I mean, I also have to edit another video. Tyler and Jack at Blue and Gold do their little, post up and talk for 10 minutes. But I could do this all night. I mean,
it's huge, Mike. It's huge just to go back to the whole entire narrative of year 2. Marcus Freeman, you lose this game. You're 3 losses at the bye, and you still got to go to Clemson. So you're legitimately looking at an 8-4 playing in. I keep saying the Blue Bonnet Bowl. I'm just using that as a joke, but you're going to be playing in a mid-tier bowl. Now you're going into a bye. You got huge momentum, and this is where these coaches need to relax. I'm sure they're going to go on the road and do some recruiting and stuff like that. Go out and see some of the guys, but they need to just take a deep breath, see what's worked, what hasn't worked, handle Pitt, and then rally like hell. Because the Clemson is down. Clemson is not Clemson that Notre Dame played in 18 and 20 and whatnot. So very, very winnable, but it's a road game, and it's going to be a massive environment that night.
I'm just freaking hyped up right now, man.
Oh man, I'm with you, Mike. That's why I couldn't talk during the game.
Even these texts I'm doing on the side,
I couldn't talk.
So excited,
yeah,
man.
I was just like, oh my God, they're gonna get this, the turnovers, the momentum, the crowd. It was a perfect night for Notre Dame football tonight in Marcus Freeman's second year.
You know what? Citizen says Notre Dame was predicted win slow down. You know what, Citizen? I'm not going to say what I was about to say. But you know what, bro? I hope you enjoy your night.
So exactly. They were predicted to win by 2, Mike. They were predicted to win by 2, and they won by 28.
Yeah.
So,
Dude,
so
Notre Dame
be excited.
You know what, Tim?
Mike,
You know what? You
Mike,
know what? Yeah.
would you rather? Yeah, I mean, so he's excited. They were predicted, so he was more in line to enjoy a 32-30 game and stress, or do you like an absolute butt whipping against your arch rival? I'll take this game any
Just
year.
real quick, Tim, when we still got 20 super chats, they just keep coming in. So
Oh,
I tweet every Thursday or Friday. Tweet, hey, here's the game coming up with a nifty graphic. What's your score prediction?
okay.
Most of these are Notre Dame fans, right? And then the algorithm will feed this into some USC fans timeline. So
Sure.
it's mostly Notre Dame fans. I'd say it's probably about 80-20. Joel says SC by 13. I don't know who he's a fan of, but SC 13. How about 56-10? USC 40-21 USC, Notre Dame 34-28. Here's a Notre Dame fan, 38-24 USC. Notre Dame 35, USC 26, 30-27. How about Notre Dame 72, USC 12? K Sizzle, you probably had the best pick here. Shout out to you. 28-24 Notre Dame. Hey, how about Jacob Lacey's dad says 38-28 Irish. What's up, David Lacey? USC 45, Irish 17 from a Notre Dame fan.
Go
Notre
on
Dame
the
fan,
SC, Mike. Go. I mean, I listened to some of the podcasts this week. Just SC, some of the Los Angeles guys. I don't think there's any dude. It's like 99.9% USC was going to win this game by 20 plus. Every single you go on YouTube comments, same thing. Looking at the scores, every USC homer was like, "Oh my god, this is a cakewalk. They have no speed. Notre Dame's average. Blah blah blah." So, hey, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, make blueberry pancakes for the kids, and they're gonna be hyped.
I mean, were we scared of USC, Chris? Hell yeah. But we also, me, Tim, and Goolsby all picked Notre Dame to beat USC. I mean, we also haven't picked against Notre Dame this year and probably won't. But still. I picked Notre Dame to lose to USC before the start of the season.
You did.
I will say that. I
You
said
did.
11-1, only lost.
I had a 40-30. Yeah, my August prediction was 40-30. I thought this would be a shootout, a wild affair. I picked Louisville to be 31-30. So that was my close game with Notre Dame Louisville last week. I said that was going to be a barn burner. Everyone laughed at me. I just thought Jeff Brom was going to just have something ready for them. But yeah, it's big win, Mike. Yeah. Big win.
Hell yeah, brother. Cameron says, awesome win, best win in years because it's USC tops the Clemson wins 10-2 years bowl. Well, I forgot about any Michigan win. Yeah, Michigan 2018 dominated early. Was it 2018, Tim? Yeah, that was 2018.
Yeah, that was 24-17.
Dominated early, and then Michigan kind of scored some garbage time. Yeah, that was a good one. Cameron H, appreciate you, brother. Very generous $10 super chat. How about this one from Big Killa? He says, played like a champion today. Hell yeah. I was actually wearing they do not sponsor this show, but this was what I was wearing during the game today. Shout out Augie's Locker Room.
Oh, nice. Go Augies.
Yeah. So that's what I was wearing today. In the play like a champion font. You love it. How about this super chat? Peter Pie with 5 says, Tim looking sharp, nice show. Can't wait for Ghouls tomorrow. Tim with that haircut, man. Can you show us the side profile, Tim? I mean, if I
Mike, my hair's been a mess for 2 weeks, and my wife.
Look at mine.
My wife's on me all the time. You got to get a haircut. You got to get a haircut.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
It's that C week. I had to clean up.
Tim, I mean, if I get to be 40 years old like you are right now, and I look like you, I'll be freaking fired up, man.
I love it.
All right, Mendoza with a $5 super chat, no comment. Carmody with the 2, DJ with the 5, and Mike with the 5. Super chat comments weren't working there, but all you guys appreciate you. Like I said earlier, just drop it like a 99-cent super chat, and I will pop those up on the screen. I'll be looking for you guys. Yeah, there's just the live chat's just too much right now for me to like find you guys without posting super chats. So it's like post a 99 center and we'll get to you. Win says any truth to Peyton Bowen, Keon Keeley, Carnell Tate being interested in transferring to Notre Dame? Go Irish, great win. If that is being reported, please send me the link. I would love to see that. Any truth to it? Like, is someone saying that? Because if so, that'd be great. I don't know.
Yeah, Bowen's playing a ton. Keeley's redshirt. Tate's only playing a little, right?
Yeah. And then Keon Keeley, I don't think he's probably playing for Bama, but Peyton Bowen's just dominating at at Oklahoma. I know he played really well in the Texas game. Win Carmody, though, I really appreciate the support. Walshed Up had a $10 super chat, and I did find your comment because you posted it right after. He said, great win. You guys are the best. Goolsby was actually right for once. Yeah, don't tell
What
that
did
to
Goolsby
Goolsby.
say that?
Goolsby says he's right pretty often. So
what was Goolsby? What was he right about? Just that Notre Dame would win.
yeah, he posted on the board earlier today, and he was like, "Hey, Notre Dame's going to go out and kick some ass," and they certainly.
Yeah, I think his prediction was 31-28. Yours is 20-19. I think mine was 32-30. I think 32-30. Yeah.
Walshed Up, really appreciate the 10 there. Drunken Saunterer says, I'm arguing with people on the message board. Singer, I found your problem. Yeah, you're right. And dude, I've literally been working on these websites since I was 19 years old, and I'm 30 now, and you think I would know better. But I don't. But I really appreciate the 10 and for making me laugh. Overshadow says, about time someone woke up the echoes. Hell yeah. Overshadow Sean, appreciate the 2. Great win. If you're Irish, Davis with another very generous $20 super chat says the offense wasn't super great tonight, but they took advantage of every opportunity. I want to get this super chat tattooed right on this face because that's just the truth. It wasn't super great, but when the defense gave them the opportunities, Notre Dame scored touchdowns with that offense.
Hey, just a real quick, as I'm reading some. How about in the first half when Jalen Sneed almost cost Notre Dame again when he ran into the punter? Notre Dame holds Caleb. So Jalen Sneed runs in the punter. Jalen Sneed's celebrating right before halftime instead of getting his butt back. But I forgot here, 3rd and 3 and 4th and 1, JD Bertrand back-to-back tackles to end that drive, hold SC with no points. So that was awesome to see. So just going back to JD Bertrand, I thought was the second best player tonight outside of Watts. Unbelievable night.
Will C says tattoo his face, $200 super chat. Maybe. No, please do not. Please do not do a $200 super chat, everyone. Please, no $200 super chats. You guys don't need to do that. These $2 ones and even the $20 from Davis is more than enough. You guys are very generous with your time and your money. We appreciate it. Tim D says, Faison, Notre Dame future version of Julian Edelman. Small, fast, good hands, gets open. Tim, can we talk a couple of minutes about Jordan Faison? Like, and all of these subplot, like you have the story of Notre Dame's season, right? Mm-hmm. The Ohio State, the Duke, the Louisville, the USC, like kind of the flow of the season, right? And then you have the subplots. The running back usage is a subplot, right? Like the coordinator subplot. Jordan Faison might be the most interesting subplot to this season, Tim. What a player.
Hey,
to be a lacrosse player primarily and to just go walk on at Notre Dame and to have the stones and the confidence to just be like, okay, yeah, my first game, I'm going to go catch a touchdown. Then I'm going to go play against USC for that rivalry game. Started. The stones, the confidence. That kid is a freaking baller. I almost dropped another F-bomb. What a ball. Like, I want to be like Jordan Faison when I grow up, man.
I posted, someone said something about him when he got his scholarship or whatever. And like the other day, I'll be honest with you, I had never spent 12 seconds on him during the summer. I'm like, oh, it's reporters are bored. It's training camp. They're always trying to overhype someone at Notre Dame. And it was like, oh, Faison's this all the time in training camp. I'm like, he's a walk-on lacrosse player, all right? And then he just keeps working his tail off. I literally watched his high school highlight film. I posted this online the other day. Holy moly.
Yeah.
And I guess he was injured his junior year. Iowa and some other Big Tens came down and offered him. Hey, find more of these guys. Hey, his highlight film, I posted this, and it may anger some people in recruiting circles. Who has a better high school highlight film that Notre Dame has signed than that kid? His highlight film is electric. It is electric, Mike. And Notre Dame, I've been saying it. Notre Dame, the overhype on the receivers that have signed and have faded away and drifted away. His film is unbelievable. So find more. Play the Smurfs in the 1980s with Joe Theismann. They had nothing but all these 5'9" receivers. Go find those guys. If they're faster than everyone, he could play. He's a walk-on who's better than all these guys they've signed.
All right. I just raved about the kid. My only pushback will be like, all right, Think about Jaden Greathouse's junior year carving up Peyton Bowen and Ryan Yates.
He's not as fast as Faison.
Yeah, but
he's not as fast as Faison.
But I'm still taking Jaden Greathouse over Jordan Faison for talking about overall receiver talent.
Okay, if you want to catch curls and hitches, Faison is electric.
All right.
I don't know, man. I watched Washington, Oregon again. I like some electricity outside.
But you're not even playing him outside. You're playing him inside.
So that's Faison. So who do you want at slot? You want Faison catching bubbles and the quick outs or Greathouse?
Tim, it's just, would I rather have
look at all these slots.
Would I rather have spaghetti or cake? Why not both?
I'll take cake. I'll take cake. I'll take cake.
All right. I'll take both. Tim D, appreciate the super chat. And look at that. Some good discussion there. And then Joey Green says dash with the $2 super chat. Well, Joey, I appreciate the $2 super chat. Don't really know what you mean there, but and I appreciate the one from earlier as well. Chris with a $5 said, cool to see Snead make that sack and get get some Marcus Freeman love. Seems like he is gaining some coaching staff trust and gets playing time versus the mobile QBs. Great show. Tim, do you have a couple minutes on this?
Man,
I really need to go pee. Is that okay?
Yeah, go potty. Yeah, do a little potty break here. I'll rant here while Mike's on. But yeah, with Snead, I think he had one snap against Duke, if my memory's right, and maybe a few more last week, or maybe it's vice versa. But I think it's only one against Duke. He's an electric athlete. He's got, it's like seeing Traore on his one play out there with the sack, and the way they use Marist, as Mike Goolsby talks about all the time, his length and athleticism. Marist is extremely athletic. Snead is like to be double that. When you watch him run and explode, it is dynamic how athletic he is. So, the running into the punter. I mean, this kid had an event tonight, like 16 coaching points that he's going to learn from running into the punter. I mean, I've coached defense for a long time, and it's like, my God, when you get an offense off the field on a punt, that's like the greatest thing in the world. And it's like, oh my God, they just gave Caleb Williams the ball back again. And JD rallies at the end of that drive. Then he drops the pick. Remember the pick he has? Like a quick one. It's quick, obviously. That's a tough one, but it's in his hands. But then he gets the sack. He gives up 3 points. I'm sure Freeman is going to lose it. But the coaching points of this young guy who's still he redshirted last year, correct? I think he only played in the 4 games. So he was a redshirt last year. So he's gaining a lot of experience. He's going to be a full-fledged dude the next couple of years in 24 and 25. So fantastic athlete. Keep finding more of him.
Chris Allen, appreciate you. Another super chat from Drunken says, fans literally don't know anything about football strategy. Please don't ask them to actually predict things live during the game. I mean, that tweet I pulled up was, from if we're talking about the tweet, that was from like Thursday, but listen, I'm just saying, like, that's kind of the perception before, so anyways. But
the perception was that. See, look at today on the Fox and the ESPN show. They get College Game Day. Everyone's thinking SC. There's only a couple Notre Dame guys. So,
yeah, absolutely. So Drunken, appreciate the 5, and then the 2 here from Adelbert says, we battled, we were intense, we were ferocious. Go Notre Dame. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So great win. Hold on, Tim. We got a little video.
What do you got?
Just the scene.
Oh, I haven't been on. So they stormed the beaches.
There you go. Huh? Tweet from Jack Silva from Blue and Gold. So there you go, folks. There's the visual. How do you feel about rushing the field against USC, a team that you had the better edge in the rivalry here in recent years? You okay with the win? This field storming? For me, it just feels like we're kind of, I think as a college football community, we're storming the field a little too much now. Beat anybody, storm the field.
I mean, Mike, Notre Dame was favored by 2. Is this a storm rushing thing, right? So, no, I just think it's the game, man. It's once again, the freaking emotions, my friend, of the last few weeks. I think today they just threw everything into this football game, and it was like, man, we're partying because we ain't doing a damn thing next week.
All right, I'm gonna post.
Who do you got picture
there? That's Deuce Knight with Sam Hartman and Kingston Filiamuasa.
By the way, Kingston, my guys, Kingston is freaking awesome. He was everywhere last night. They shut out Mater Dei and beat the number one
They
team.
really did. They shut them out.
I want to say, I think it was 28-0. I saw some highlights of him. Some of the reporters on Twitter, dude, he is, my God, he is so damn fast. He is so different of a player from last year. And I think that's coming back after missing his sophomore year with the knee injury, getting back in the groove. He is a different dude this year. So absolutely electric. Shout out to St. John Bosco, and he got on the road to come out here. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Dude, that's huge, Mike. That's huge because it's still St. John Bosco. It's still SoCal. It's still the pressure of the community to go to SC. It's there. So
his top three was Notre Dame, Ohio State, USC. So he's at Notre Dame, Ohio State. Ohio State beats Notre Dame. He comes back for the second ever time he spent to a Notre Dame game, if I recall correctly, and it's USC. Yeah. So I talked about him all this week in our recruiting show Thursday and in articles. I was like, let's look at some USC Notre Dame battles. Owen Streebig, the offensive lineman from Wisconsin. Damian Shanklin, a defensive end from Indianapolis. Usually, if you think Notre Dame USC battles, it's more about like guys in Southern California and not so much guys in the Midwest, but that's what it kind of is. And I also mentioned Kingston. I was like, listen, I have no reason to believe that Kingston is anything but solid with Notre Dame, but still, like you said, Tim, it's a Bosco kid who loved USC during the recruiting process. So it's a really nice win for the Irish there. Randall says, lifelong fan, Notre Dame beating USC makes my year. LCS, Randall. Appreciate the 5.
Yes.
Don't give a damn how the offense looked. Did you win? Yes. We're fired up in this show. You know, Tim, like when you hear post-game, like, locker room talks with the coaches, what do they always say? Hey, we'll look at the film tomorrow. Let's enjoy this one tonight. And that's what we're doing tonight. Yes. We are enjoying this one.
Yes.
And the shows with the cool super chat up classic. I already put it away, so I can't bring it back up, or I'd have to scroll for about 45 minutes to find it. But Chris, I appreciate the $2. And those are epic super chat by Goolsby. We got the whole Smith family giving us this super chat. It says, guys out there in the north end zone in orange hats, you could see us in every field goal and PAT in the uprights, and we stormed the field. So when you guys rewatch the game, you'll see the whole Smith family in the orange hats.
Because I usually rewatch on Sunday nights. As I always dive into the first half on Sunday nights and rewatch you and Mike's show. So I will be looking for the hats on the field goals.
Smith family, appreciate the 5, and really hope you enjoyed the game tonight, and I'm sure you did. Bill Murphy says halftime up 24-6. Thoughts went back to the 74 game.
Yes. Yes. I'm not going to lie, especially with the way they ended. Freeman calling that timeout because those knuckleheads are celebrating. And I'm with you. And then Notre Dame comes right out, goes 3 and out, gives the ball right back to him. I'm like, oh my God. So, seriously, I was nervous. I'm not going to lie, man. Born and raised with, Notre Dame football. And that's like, not from my dad. My dad was a huge SC guy. It was more my grandparents' side, which was Notre Dame. But it's like Notre Dame, obviously Michigan State, iconic rivalries there. The hate with Michigan State because they played more than anything. But I'm not going to lie. I was a nervous wreck, Mike. Seriously, right before that kick. This going back to your point, you said, Singer, the kickoff return. People want to complain about offensive stats. Who cares? The dude went 99. I'll take that any day of the week.
Hey, the points all count the same, man. Don't care where they come from. Again, you want the offense to play better for future games. We get that. But in the context of tonight, don't really give a shit. Don't. I don't. Still appreciate the 2. JP says, drop that F-bomb, Singer. I just said shit. So we'll have to settle with that. Life is always sweeter with a big win over SC. Hell yeah, brother JP. Appreciate the very generous super chat there. Chris Allen says, F-bomb beeper fun starts here. Let it fly. You guys are hysterical. And I know these super chats were from 15 minutes ago, so we're a little late on them. But appreciate you guys. Jimmy says, enjoy your show. Great analysis. Just got back from the hotel from the game. Great win. Thanks. Well, Jimmy, appreciate the super chats and for us spending some of your day with us. John says, John, you got a cute cat, my friend. He says, as soon as SC showed up in ski masks, I knew it was over. You know, Tim, I thought about that too, man. I was like, that's a good sign for Notre Dame. just like Notre Dame versus Miami in 2010 Sun
The
Bowl.
Sun Bowl.
Also Singer 6'3". You got to tell me Tim is 6'7" next.
No, Singer
How
probably
tall are
dunked
you,
on me.
Tim?
I'm a 6 flat right there,
Okay.
right on the tippy toes.
Very respectable. But yeah, Goolsby's got us beat, obviously by far, being what 6'4" Goolsby is. But yeah, John, appreciate the 5. And again, 6'2", but my wife will tell you 6'3". She's like 5'3" or 5'4", so it doesn't really matter. Everyone for her is just very, very
You
tall.
dunk on with the indoor hoop, the Nerf hoop in your house, just dunking on her all the time.
Oh, I mean, of course. Yeah, it's a great husband move. Walshed up with 5 says the offense played on a short field tonight and capitalized every time. Give me a break. Yeah, I mean, let's pull up the drive chart, Tim. Because again, like I'm here, like let's talk and rave about just the game. I don't really care about the offense, but
the game.
Again, 4 plays, 16 yards punt, 3 plays, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 7 plays, 27 yards. So 3 and outs, but that's football.
I mean, this is the same. I mean, it's basically the same damn thing against North Carolina State. 6 touchdowns, North Carolina State, and 6 3 and outs against North Carolina State. When was the last time that's ever happened? So, it is what it is, man. They beat SC. They destroyed SC. I mean, literally, if anything, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if this score was flipped, people would be like, yeah, Caleb Williams just came alive and tore him up. Notre Dame couldn't do anything. It's the opposite. So it's huge win. Awesome night.
Yep. Folks, if you're not done so yet, you just joined us, please hit that thumbs up on the video. The last time I checked, we were doing pretty well in that department, at least over 600.
Jeff, the last in the chat, Jeff said it was amazing to storm the field.
There you go.
Did you storm the field, Jeff? If so, are you messaging from the field, or are you left now? Right.
I hope he has left by now. There's a guy I follow on TikTok, which yes, I use TikTok, folks. I don't care. You can hate me. And he does this thing from NFL stadiums where he'll go to an NFL game and then he'll see how long he can stay in the crowd or just in the stadium until someone kicks him out. And he times it. It's hysterical. I think he did like a Packers game, and he was like, I could be here forever. Or it was a Michigan game, actually. I guess the Michigan security, they just don't care. But anyways,
he literally just hangs out until someone says you got to go.
That's what he does. And he also does a walk on the field challenge where it's like in the off season or something. We'll just like, can I get into this stadium?
Oh my God.
That is such a cool. His name is GFED, GFED.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Another guy in the chat follows him. That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's I freaking love it because it's like I'm all right. I'm not going to go on.
Hey, he's having fun. It's something fun.
Yeah. It's fun.
Cool.
I could talk about it for another 10 minutes, but that's not the point of the show. I did post a poll in the chats. Do you like the field storming for this game? 145 votes. 58% is saying yes. So again, I think that's fair. I could go either way on it.
It's all right. Hey, it's a bye week. Who gives a damn?
Yeah.
Go get some turf.
Drunker with another super chat says Notre Dame bringing in better walk-on receivers from lacrosse than Dell's top recruits. Well, damn. Well, yeah. So, yeah, they've had some decent walk-on receivers, not gonna lie, but obviously,
well, they have. They definitely have. So, Faison, it's gonna be
So you're taking Jordan like you think Faison, you'll take him better like long term over Greathouse. Like you like that, you like him better.
I like fast guys. I don't know. That's just me. I like guys that are fast, and I like fast guys. Alabama was struggling times 10 today. Guess what they do? Let's throw up some 50-yard bombs to the fast guys, and they caught them. Those are fun. Maybe I was just blown away because I hadn't paid attention to him, and I literally watched his senior highlight film. I was like, "Are you kidding me? How the hell did Notre Dame luck into this guy?" And I heard it was the lacrosse coach called Freeman. He says, "Hey, this guy really wants to play, but he's going to go to the Big Ten unless you let him walk on." He watched his film and was like, "Hell yeah!"
Is that the story?
Yeah. I heard that first. Read that, or maybe it was his interview he did the other day, something like that. Yeah. So just a quick little synopsis, or maybe it was in the Horka. Tyler Horka had an article about him the other day.
I didn't read that one, but yeah.
And that's probably where I read it. And Mike, he's fast. The dude could run.
Yeah, and I think like the speed thing, is just so much more like a topic for us because Notre Dame just doesn't have it, right? Like the Jordan Greathouse, Jaden Greathouse of the world are fantastic receivers, but Notre Dame just has a lot of
But it's
those
going back to
guys.
Tyree. The play to Tyree is so. Literally, it's the same thing they ran last week at the Faison. Faison was number 3 who ran the deep bend last week. This week they ran it with Tyree, who was the number 2 guy running the slot, and they're fast. Those dudes are fast. Is your cat coming in?
Can you hear them?
No, I just remember you talking about your cat coming in.
No, my cats they're hissing and they just barged in my office.
Hey, I have no problem with Greathouse. I have no problem.
Yeah. I know you don't. Yeah.
I guess I'm just so impressed by how he's at Notre Dame. It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Love Jordan Faison as well, obviously. Drunken, appreciate the super chats there and the good laugh. Chris says great win tonight. X was a study. Xavier Waltz was fantastic. The defense was lights out last year. Caleb Williams won the Heisman against us this year. He likely lost it. Offense was what they could be. Yeah, fair analysis here. From Chris, and appreciate the 5, my friend. Brian says, usually watch on mobile, but watching on TV via YouTube, which is awesome. Hello to Myra, Roman, and Mary Kate. Hello, Myra, Roman, and Mary Kate. I'll keep watching forever, regardless. Well, Brian, appreciate you. Hope Tim Hyde looks great on my small laptop screen. I'm sure he looks even amazing on the big screen. So could we just give Tim? Yeah, there he is. Look at that handsome guy right there. Andy Nation says, what a glorious night. Absolutely fantastic. Andy Nation, good to see you in here, buddy. $2 super chats there. And we are caught up on super chats, Tim. How about that?
Beat Pitt, Mike. Enjoy a week off. We'll be back on Wednesday, right? The chit chat and whatnot. Obviously, we won't have to do a midnight show next week, which will be nice.
Get the Saturday off.
Oh man, seriously. Just to do a recap and whatnot. It was awesome. It really was. I was a nervous wreck tonight. I'm not gonna lie. I was so excited for the game because I love this football game, but I was a freaking nervous wreck, Mike.
Tim, I was very nervous.
And they rallied. It may be overkill. We're going into Dubai. Who gives a damn if it's overkill or not? But this win, hey, new athletic director, Mike. New school president coming in.
Yeah.
New board of trustees president coming in. A lot of new things and new people like their guys, as they like to say in the coaching world and whatnot. People do not dislike Freeman. They like Freeman. So this is huge for him to beat SC with an opportunity to go 10-2. That is going to look awesome going into year 3. And don't like to always look forward, but you have to at certain times where there's a turning point. And Louisville had to happen, maybe for SC to happen. Sometimes those things suck in football, but they're real.
Yeah. Good stuff, Tim. And then so we can look at the rest of the schedule real quick and kind of recap that, and we'll sign off tonight.
8 games already, Mike. It's October 15th. 8 games.
So you start the season 4-0, drop 1 to Ohio State, beat Duke, lose to Louisville, beat USC, and then you got a bye week, which I'll be tracking where the Notre Dame coaches go out on the road later this week. And then you get Pitt 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Our live show, I will be doing our live show from the Notre Dame press box. So
are you going to be at the Pitt game?
Yeah, I'll be at the Pitt game.
Oh, okay. You haven't said that yet. That's awesome.
Yeah. Have I not said it?
You told me you're going to Clemson.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to Clemson. Pretty sure.
Okay, but Pitt's official.
Pitt. Oh yeah. Pitt's I've had booked for about a month.
Okay,
I'll be at the Pitt game, so we'll do the live show, and then we might be doing the live show as well from Memorial Stadium. I would love to do something where I just wouldn't be able to stand up for so long, but I'm standing up, you got the field behind me. I can't stand for an hour and a half, but the whole TikTok series I was talking about where the guys, how long can I stay in the stadium? That's what I'm going to be doing from that damn press box after some of these games, where Stinger's going to be in there for 2 hours doing a live show afterwards. But in all seriousness, so yeah, Pitt 3:30 kickoff, Pitt, October 28th, and then you go to Clemson the next week, probably going to be under the lights.
Is work on them going to come up then after the press conference, instead of doing their little 10-minute video, come up live with you?
I don't know what they'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be driving home, and if I I'll know what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be a late night. I don't think I will be editing that video until Monday morning, that's for sure. With like a 2-hour drive home and then traffic added, who knows? But then you got another bye week, Wake Forest and Stanford.
Yeah.
So all right,
Stanford.
3 more super chats just came in, so we're gonna call it there. No moss on the super chats. Chris
Okay.
says, "Do you think they'll move on from Tobias after the season?" What do we? I mean, Chris, look, that's an after the season discussion. You know, like I don't like dogging on kids. Like,
No, I'm with you. It's like you see the talent, you see the speed. It's been right there in him, right? He's had opportunities, just keep finishing, keep working. He's too tall and long and all those things that are like good attributes to have. So massive sophomore slump after really not doing much as a freshman and whatnot. So it's hard to say a slump. I think it's a slump from the expectations, thinking he was going to evolve and get 40, 50 catches, whatever the heck were, just because of Sam Hartman. Didn't happen.
yeah,
It really didn't happen. I think now the season's taken this ebb and flow of we're going to be in a lot of 12 personnel because of the injuries, the limitations we have, and we're going to rotate who we have.
yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
it's
but Chris,
turning into.
appreciate the 5 there and the support. Another Chris says a $10 super chat says, "For the efforts, gents, long stretch, but this is an awesome show and way to wrap up the answer, everyone. FUSC, go Irish." And great show, Chris. Appreciate the kind words and the support in Wicked Bronco Productions. What's up, my friend? Says, "We are flipping Carter Nelson." Also, Mike, I tore my ACL storming the field. I hope you were joking because you put in LOL. I hope you did not tear your ACL. Watt's top 5 individual performance in Notre Dame football history. I mean, that would. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of Notre Dame football there, but I'll take your word for it. And I mean, he says we're flipping Carter Nelson, so I'll take him at his word. So
He showed up.
he
That's
did.
kind of
Big deal. So should know more about that.
that's huge. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
just the
big.
fact that I didn't follow that. Like I said, I haven't been in my bunker watching this.
Huge,
The
huge.
fact that he showed up is like,
It's a big
is that
deal.
a last second thing or did it just leak out today?
Leaked out today, but it's been booked for a little
Gotcha.
while. But you know, I could see it going either way. I mean, he has such like his family, diehard Nebraska fans.
Yeah, Big Red, man.
Um,
And he's a big commit for that state. Matt Rule trying to flip it, turn it around.
so
He's
you
been to
know,
like every home game too. I
and
think
every
I
home
think in
game for
your
them.
article a week
Yeah,
or so ago.
yeah. And they had a bye week.
So
So yeah. But also, like you come to this Notre Dame game is kind of a statement. So yeah,
yeah,
Carter Nelson,
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, he's an athlete. I mean, Mike Goolsby's talked about him. He plays in
freak.
the middle of nowhere, 8-man football. He's freakishly athletic. What
Yeah.
he plays, tight end, DN, middle linebacker, hell, I don't know. He's damn athletic.
Just for
So
folks wondering who the hell we're talking about, Carter Nelson,
yeah,
Ainsworth, Nebraska, kind of middle of nowhere, Nebraska, number 60 overall player, number 5 tight end, and the top player from his state. So, yeah, he took official visits to Nebraska, Notre Dame, Georgia, and Penn State over the summer, and then committed to Nebraska. It kind of looked like Notre Dame, Georgia, according to some people, and then
yeah.
Nebraska, like, he committed there on his visit, and then yeah, Notre Dame
He's
just kept working on him, and maybe they can flip him. We'll see.
he's he's so I said I would want him as a DN. I just loved his length and his freakish speed. It's like make him a. I mean, Notre Dame could get tight ends with their eyes closed, but it's like he's a special athletic young man.
All right, Tim. I think
I'm ready.
what I'm about to do is I'm going to take this tie off and go put my Augie shirt back on. I'm going to go pour myself a nice glass of whiskey, start editing Tyler Hork and Jack Sobel's video that you'll be able to find on our if you're going to be up for a couple hours or maybe hour and a half when I'll be able to finally publish that thing, maybe less than that, I don't know. I'll get that posted. My wife told me she has some leftover Chick-fil-A
Ooh,
in the fridge. So I'm going to throw that in probably the air fryer. I think those chicken nuggets. I'm going to eat and then be going to sleep around 3:30ish and wake up and start contacting recruits and writing more articles. So definitely a fun time.
and
But it's a lot more fun to do these late nights and early mornings and
are
grind on
your
day after a win.
are your Dolphins on tomorrow or bye? What do you got?
1 p.m. against the Panthers, and I believe it's at home. So should be a Good way to put us at 5-1, and your Patriots are god awful.
Oh, Mike, the big game tomorrow, the 4:00 Eastern game against the Raiders. So there you go, Pats and Raiders.
Oh wow, that's gonna be gonna draw a big.
Mike, you know it's bad when they're talking about how do we get rid of Belichick. So you know it's bad, my friend. So
Yeah.
enjoy the Dolphins' success while you can. Hey,
I will.
everyone celebrate. Have a hell of a week. We'll see you guys Wednesday when we're back on, but celebrate. Don't worry about anything from this game. Look at the score. High five everyone who gives a damn about stats. There's a butt kicking tonight.
And we will dive into it Wednesday. We'll have our
Yes.
live show Wednesday. We'll kind of do like a bye-week reset. So join us Wednesday night. And again, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time with Mike Goolsby. We'll talk more about Notre Dame, USC as well. Hit that thumbs up before you get out of here. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done so yet. And as always, folks, we will catch you next time. Notre Dame 48, USC 20.